Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. Here to do another vendor wax haul video. This will focus on my Teddy Bees pre-order. So this pre-order, very much anticipated, like all Teddy Bees pre-orders. I've talked about them before, you know, they're just a massive, exciting, waxy event for me, you know, from the very start when the list gets put together to placing the order, and then you wait and then you get it, and then there's everyone does their videos, and then the ready to ship goes up, and it's just a really fun cycle. So, and sometimes I try to actually get my order shipped over to Australia quickly because I like to have it before the ready to ship. I didn't bother doing that this time. Honestly, quite a few of these scents I just went into the ready to ship and bought them anyway. Like a few of them seemed like fairly safe bets in that I knew I would enjoy them just based on the notes. So, and then I also got some scents in that ready to ship that I did not get in this pre-order. So based on people talking about them in videos, or just, you know, stuff that sounded interesting to me. So there's a few things I forgot. I got 4 tubs and a bunch of soufflés, so I might get stuck into it. I have where's my card gone? I had it before, but it's disappeared. Anyway, it's Teddy Bees Wax Co. There's a Facebook group if you search for Teddy Bees Wax Co. Or the website. The group is probably a good place to be in if you want to get information about the brand. That said, I think she does have a blog on the website and generally tries to post information about upcoming sales there. So not that Teddy Bees has many sales per year. There's like 3 or 4 pre-orders and as many ready to ships. Yeah, so you need to be following to sort of understand when they'll be open next. So the sample that I have is Morning Cup of Christmas. Now this one, it is actually one I considered getting in the ready to ship, and I decided not to. I don't have the notes here because it's not printed on it, but I think it's like, I remember it had spicy notes and like like cranberry marmalade maybe, and some other stuff, but I can't remember exactly what the full thing was. It does smell very good, and it does smell very much like that cranberry marmalade. I think I've smelled that oil at L3 before. It smells very similar to that. That's honestly, that's mostly what I get recognizably. So I just trying to. Teddy Bees wax tends to get little edgy bits that falls off, and I try not to drop them on the floor too much because then I just drop the shot cup because they get stuck on the floor, obviously. Yeah, so this really smells a lot like cranberry marmalade to me. But I do think there is more spiciness to it. But I couldn't tell you what. It just smells like a spicier cranberry marmalade. So I like it. I think I will melt it, but I probably didn't need to purchase it. So I'm glad that I did not. Okay, I'll do the tubs first, and then I'll do the soufflés. So she offers loaves, tubs, and soufflés, and each one is, so the soufflés are a certain size. The tubs are about the equivalent weight of 2 soufflés, and the loaves are about the equivalent weight of 3 soufflés. So it's nicely, size-wise, it's nicely staggered up. She used to have chunk bags. They were the middle thing in between the soufflés and the loaves. I didn't love the chunk bags. I didn't like the unevenness of the chunks and things like that. I do prefer the tubs a lot more. That said, this is the first time she's done the tubs with lids instead of bags, although she did send extra bags. Like other people have pointed out, I don't know actually, maybe it would fit. I know other people have said that the tubs don't really fit in the bags, and it's possible. So let's see, let's test it rather than me just saying things. Could be that, I think maybe there was 2 different sizes of bags, because yeah, this is actually perfect. That works really well. So I think some people may have got bags that were smaller than that, but the bags I got fit quite well. So I don't know if I'll use the bags for the tubs at this point. Like I think one of my tubs has a slight crack on it, but the rest of them are fine. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of talk about tubs, really. Anyway, the first scent that I have is God's Woods. So this is Palo, Santo, Birchwood, Pine, Vanilla, Balsam. I will say this pre-order, very vanilla balsam heavy. I mean, I am a big vanilla balsam fan, but even as I was going through it, I was like, oh, That is a lot of vanilla balsam. I really hope I don't get sick of vanilla balsam. I won't be melting, most of this stuff I won't be melting until the weather cools down next year. So it's going to sit for a little bit. But yeah, I definitely don't want to, you know, get tired of that vanilla balsam because that would be really sad. So that's what it looks like. A little bit of, oh, there's a bit of glitter on the bottom. Pardon me. So this smells really, really good, but it does smell very vanilla balsam heavy. It's like, it's just basically a vanilla balsam scent, kind of enriched with pine. Pine's probably the next thing that I smell. But the more I smell it, I can smell that delicious, creamy Palo Santo. I say delicious, it's a woody scent, but it's creamy, you know. that amazing Palo Santo scent. And I guess birchwood. I don't know if I can pick out birchwood notes, but... So yeah, so it's a really pretty gorgeous vanilla balsam scent, but it is very vanilla balsam heavy. So, but I do really like that. I got a souffle. I just knew because it just sounded like an amazing vanilla balsam scent. So I did get a souffle of this one as well in the ready to ship. The next tub that I got is Cozy Cookie Cake and Balsam. So this one had a different name, I think, in the pre-order, but she turned it into this. So this is vanilla balsam, Fraser firs blended with our Cozy Cookie Cake, which is warm iced white cake, beach treats, marshmallow fireside, and signature sugar cookie. So this one, I've had Cozy Cookie Cake before, and I do enjoy that one. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of her beach treats oil, I used to be. It's beach nights. I used to love it. I just went off it. Cozy Cookie Cake, just with the marshmallow fireside and the signature sugar cookies, I really enjoyed it. The smoky kind of bakery thing with a little bit of beach treats, really good for me. So I went, look, adding vanilla balsam and other tree scents to this is just going to make it even better as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's basically where I was thinking. I didn't get more of it in the ready to ship, and couldn't even 100% tell you why. Other than I suppose I had to draw a line somewhere in terms of things that I did get again and things that I did not. But yeah, I think I decided for this one, as much as I would love it, a tub would probably be enough. It is so, so good though. This one, the vanilla balsam, is not nearly as heavy as that God's Woods. This one, it is mostly the Cozy Cookie Cake still, but just with a really nice touch of tree. So I feel like the Fraser fir is potentially almost stronger than the vanilla balsam. The vanilla balsam is very laid back in here, and I think that's a really good thing. Particularly just with how many vanilla balsam scents I got, like, yeah. So yeah, just a beautiful kind of creamy but tree-like theme with that Cozy Cookie Cake. It's really, really good. I'm really happy with that. The dates, I should read the dates out. So the God's Woods was poured on the 20th of October. Cozy Cookie Cake and Balsam was poured on the 22nd of October. So for me with Teddy Bees, I know a lot of people talk about the long cure time and things like that it apparently needs. I personally, I have noticed that the longer you give it, the better. But that doesn't mean that I feel like you need to let it sit for 6-12 months or whatever. I have, generally speaking, my wax almost always gets minimum 6 to 8 weeks, just purely from it getting poured, being in sitting at the forwarder, being in transit. And then when things get here, I don't tend to reach for my new stuff immediately anyway. So naturally, all of my wax gets cure time. Just how it is. And because, you know, a lot of the time, opposite seasons, a lot of this stuff is going to sit and wait for a while because it's just not stuff I want to melt now. It's spring, we're moving into summer. A lot of these scents are just not for that. So some of this stuff is naturally just going to get a 6-month cure time or longer because I won't be ready to melt it for 6 months. And that probably does benefit it in terms of throw. I do think that helps. But that said, I feel like if I was to pick some of this stuff within the next month, it would still do fine. That's been my experience with my other Teddy Bees wax. So just thought I'd put that out there. Took a load-bearing tub and the souffle tower collapsed. Winterfell. So this is not what it says here. It says that it's got the description for Winter Farmhouse on here. I think I did have a chunk bag of this, but I think I finished it. So it's a Palo Santo Icy Woods Marshmallow Fireside something blend. I have had it twice now before, and seriously, this, I don't think my camera is going to capture it, but the absolute insane glow on that shimmer on it is just incredible. It was almost blinding me looking down at it. There's some holographic sparkle to it as well. But wow, that shimmer is incredible. This one, there is a very slight crack in the lid, but I don't actually think it would impact anything. It's not like letting air in or anything. So yeah, I love, love, love Winterfell. Winterfell is just an absolute classic Palo Santo blend. It's so woody and it does capture that kind of icy feeling, but without needing, I feel like so many icy type blends have like peppermints or spearmints or, you know, minty tones. This one captures that iciness without having to get into mints. Like, it's got warmth from the woods, but it's got frostiness. It's an incredible blend. And the Marshmallow Fireside smokiness is just perfect too. So I love this one in winter. So when I finished the chunk bag, I went, yes, I do need to get more of Winterfell. The last tub that I have is Oak, Cider and Woods. And I don't know, thinking back, I'm not quite sure why I promoted this one to a tub. I decided that I was going to do 4 tubs and everything else would be soufflés, and I had lots of choices. So the notes for this one is warm mulled cider, cedar, oak, vanilla, toasted marshmallow, pine cones and smoked woods. I think it was the pine cones that pushed me over the edge on this one, because I do love a good pine cone scent. But cider scents can be quite hit and miss for me, so I just don't know. Yeah, like if I was placing this order today, I don't think that, even just based on the notes without having even smelled this one, I don't think that this would have been a souffle, I think, for me, not a tub. But let's see. Yeah, it's very strong on that cider. It smells really good, but it's just a very, very cider heavy scent, which is a like but not a love for me. I can't really smell any pine cones or anything either. Like, it's just a slightly woodsy, very, very slightly marshmallowy cider. So yeah, good, but yeah, it's fine. I will melt it. I will enjoy it. I might blend it a bit as well. It might come, those other notes may well come out a lot more strongly and in a more interesting way when this one melts. So we will have to see. But yeah, on cold, it's just okay. All right, so now we are getting into the soufflés. So the first souffle I have here is one that I have had multiple times before. I have half a loaf still. And I'm wondering if I'm going to regret having only got a souffle. So this is Winter Farmhouse. This is sugarcane, rosemary, blue spruce, teakwood, sweet mint, Palo Santo and light florals. This one is just absolutely incredible. I love this scent so much. It's a deep blue. I've already melted my way through one loaf. I'm not normally the type of person that polishes off multiple loaves of a scent, but I've finished one loaf. I'm halfway through the second, and yeah, I thought about getting a tub of this one, but I decided because I have half of a loaf, I probably only need to top myself up with the souffle for now, and then I can, by the time I'm finished all of that, she'll probably pour it again next winter, because it is a popular one, and for very good reason. Because it's so incredible. It's woody. You actually do, I feel like, get all of those notes there. Like, there's sweetness, there's spruce, there's a touch of floral. I do get a sweet mint. It's refreshing, but it's cozy at the same time. It's just one of those one-of-a-kind kind of blends. Like, I just haven't encountered anything else like it. So I love, love, love Winter Farmhouse. Where to next? Trying to see, is there anything? Okay, everything else is new to me, so we'll just go through one at a time. Snow Queen is the next one. I did get another one of this in the ready to ship. So Marshmallow Fireside, Warm Vanilla Sugar, and Sugared Spruce. I think I got another one of this because I did, you know, hear so many positive things about this one in the videos. So this one is quite white, but it's got, this one's really hard to tell, but it does have, like, maybe you can see it a little bit on that angle. There's like a pearly sheen to it. It's very pretty. It is a bit squished though. Let me just try and pop it out. Come on. This one might not want to come out of its... Okay, come on. I feel like I've invested myself in getting it out so much that I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I don't know about this one. I don't know how I feel. In that it's a really pretty scent. It is a really, really pretty scent. But I just don't know if it's a scent I'd want to melt. It's almost too sweet. Like the sugared spruce is actually a very sweet oil. I've only dabbled with sugared spruce recently, and it's a lot sweeter than what I would expect. I mean, it's sugared. I should have known, but so I get a lot of sweetness and a kind of body care like soapiness from the warm vanilla sugar. I'm hoping that the Marshmallow Fireside comes out more when it melts, because I feel like the just excess sweetness of this blend, I feel like it needs a bit of smokiness to balance it a bit, which I'm not getting on cold. I hope I get on warm, because yeah, I like it in theory, but like in short doses, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty scent. But I feel like melting this for an extended period of time could be overkill if it smells that strongly, that sweet, that strongly. We'll see. All right, next up, I Heart Vanilla Spiced Apples. So this is I Heart Vanilla, which is like vanilla milkshake and boardwalk marshmallow clouds, I think, with juicy apples, cinnamon, clove, and vanilla bean. This is not really a me scent, I have to admit. Why did I get it? I was just curious, I think. So I had heard a few good things in the groups, not on YouTube. I know there's been a little bit of a thing going on about the recommendations around this one. I think I remember seeing people talking positively about this in the group, so that was part of it. I Heart Vanilla as a scent is one that I have not been in love with, but there's been a couple of blends I have enjoyed it. So what I'm not the biggest fan about it is that for me the boardwalk marshmallow clouds, I'm like chatting away as I like try and wrestle it out of the tin. Boardwalk marshmallow clouds, or marshmallows of magnolias as Teddy Bees refers to it, I find it to be a very perfumey kind of scent. So blended with like vanilla milkshake and vanilla, I always hope, like the vanilla milkshake smells amazing. It smells like this amazing malty vanilla. But the boardwalk marshmallow clouds just takes it in too much of a body care direction. And so it keeps getting blended with like these foodie scents, but it smells like body care and it just doesn't quite work for me. But I did really enjoy it blended with blackberry. I Heart Vanilla Blackberry was beautiful. So I still give it a go. And in this one, I don't know. I just thought that spiced apple scents are often things that I don't gel with. And I just went, look, I Heart Vanilla. What I was thinking was if it was like a really nice creamy vanilla with a little bit of apple, spiced apple, that would be something that might appeal to me, might be a little bit different to the normal. So, because the one thing about I Heart Vanilla is I do find it to be quite a strong vanilla. That's not what this has ended up being. This is an incredibly strong on the spices and the apple. The apples are a very juicy, sweet apple. And so the spices are not heavy or, well, I won't say they're not cloying. They are kind of cloying, but they're not that really heavy, deep spice. It kind of contributes more to a very sweet, juicy, fruity spice. but then you do kind of get that body care like vanilla in the background. So probably not something I'm going to love. It is very strong, but I'll melt it and I'll see. I knew with that one that it was a risk for me, so I'm not, you know, I half expected it to be like that, but I just thought I'd take a chance on it just in case. Witches Be Crazy for blueberries. So this is birthday cake pecan waffles, sugar cookie dough, and a pinch of cinnamon spice vanilla blended with sweet blueberries. I know this one's quite popular. I've had a few Witches Be Crazy blends before, but I've not had the blueberry one. Witches Be Crazy is okay for me. I love her pecan waffle oil. I think it's amazing. It's one of the best ones out there. But I just find Witches Be Crazy, I get a little bit too much. I think it's the birthday cake and the sugar cookie dough. Both of those scents can smell a bit sweet and artificial to me, and I do get that, like that kind of tone from Witches Be Crazy. But sometimes in blends, it, you know, it surprises me. So anyway, oh, this one smells really good though. Teddy Bees does amazing blueberry. I don't know what it is, but her blueberry blended with bakery, it always smells. I think I've tried like 3, this is like the 3rd or 4th different blueberry bakery scent, and the blueberry just always smells incredible. And I feel like it's cutting that sort of the birthday cake notes and stuff that I don't love. So this just smells like a really delicious pumpkin pecan waffle blueberry scent with a touch of spice. Yeah, I am very much a fan of that. This is probably, if it melts this way, this will be my favorite Witches Be Crazy blend. Probably the only Witches Be Crazy blend that I would get again. That's really, really nice. Okay. Next I have White Woods and Bonfires. So this is White Oak, Cashmere, Soft Woods, Vanilla, and Bonfire Bliss. I've been talking about when these were poured, but they're all poured kind of around the 20th of October. 27th of October on the Witches Be Crazy. 30th of the 9th on the Spiced Apples. 26th of the 9th for Snow Queen. Farmhouse, 29th of the 9th. Cider, 23rd of the 10th. Winterfell, 30th of the 9th. So, you know, look there, it's all kind of old enough now. So I think I read the notes out. This one's just got a few little golden leaves on it. I like Bonfire Bliss. So that was pretty much, I think, the extent of my thought process for this one. I like to pop the wax out. I always find it smells different and probably a bit more reflective of the actual scent on the bottom and the top. So even though it's a pain in the butt getting it out of the container, that's just what I find. This is very pretty. It doesn't really smell like woods or bonfire. I mean, look, I actually can smell Bonfire Bliss in here, so I should probably take that back a bit. But Bonfire Bliss is a very pretty smoky scent to me. But yeah, I mean, I can smell a slight woody tone, but I feel like it's just all wrapped up in the cashmere and the vanilla. But it's actually very pretty. Yeah, it's not a woody, smoky scent at all. It's a very pretty, feminine kind of... It is pretty and feminine, but it is also woodsy and smoky, if that makes sense. So I actually quite like that. I think that's very nice. I'm not sure how strong it will be. Like, I can definitely smell it, but it just feels like it might be a more subtle kind of scent, but we'll see. Okay. I did get more of this one, so the North. This is Vanilla Balsam type, Palo Santo, Marshmallow Fireside, and a hint of Smouldering Firewood. So I realised that this one potentially is not that different to Godswood's. Godswood is like spruce and or pine and another type of wood, whereas this one instead is marshmallow. So this one is like smouldering and smoky, and that one's woodsy and piney, but they're both blends with Vanilla Balsam and Palo Santo. So, come on, about. There we go. So, brown with that glitter, bit of gold glitter on the bottom. And I definitely, yeah, it's similar to God's Woods to me. This one is very vanilla balsam heavy again. It's beautiful. But it's very much a vanilla balsam scent with just different kind of smoky woody tones in it. So it is very beautiful. But I do think they're definitely not the same by any means, but they're similar. The God's Wood and the North are relatives to me. I might actually like the North slightly more, the sort of smouldering tones versus the pine. I think they're both great, but just this one maybe has a slight edge. So, but we'll see when they melt, right? Okay. And then another one in that family, I Heart Vanilla Balsam Palo Santo. So another Vanilla Balsam Palo Santo scent. So this one is Creamy Vanilla Marshmallow, Vanilla Milkshake, Marshmallows and Magnolias, which is Boardwalk Marshmallow. So I got that wrong before. It has Vanilla Marshmallow in it, as well as Milkshake and the other one. Blended with Vanilla Balsam and layered with Palo Santo. So this one will have, I'm guessing, I'm not just guessing, I'm pretty sure I've seen in other videos that the Vanilla Balsam is on the top and the Palo Santo is on the bottom. I'm going to find it hard to give an accurate verdict on this one because I just find that you can't get that read on how a scent will melt when it's layered. Like you can smell the side and kind of get, you know, a bit of one side and a bit of the other, but it doesn't tell you how it truly blends together. Because this one does smell really amazing because the Palo smells really strong. I think the Vanilla Balsam, even if I smell the Vanilla Balsam side, it doesn't even smell as strong as the other Vanilla Balsam blends that I was talking about, the North and God's Woods. Because I think the I Heart Vanilla scent is really toning it down into a smoother vanilla scent. And again, I do get that slight body care-ish Boardwalk Marshmallow. But if the Palo holds up as strong here as it seems to, this will be really lovely because it will be Palo first with just like a hint of Vanilla Balsam and then the I Heart Vanilla. So it does actually, even though it's, you know, a Vanilla Balsam Palo scent, it is, to me, it does seem like it will be quite different, but we'll have to see. Grown Woman Shit. So this is Palo Santo, Orchid, Amber, and Smoked Vanilla. There was so many Palo. I knew I was done for in this pre-order when I saw how many Palo Santo blends there are, because Teddy B's Palo Santo is just my absolute favourite. And she blends with it so well. So, yeah. I think winter pre-orders and like autumn, fall type ones, I tend to go a little bit harder on Teddy B. Summer, she has some wonderful summer blends as well, but I find the woodsy Palos and things like that, those are the blends that just absolutely have my heart. So, there's a note in here that I'm not loving. I'm not sure if it's, I think it might be the Orchid. So it's quite pretty, it's quite feminine, but with a smoked woody tone. The smoked vanilla is not overly strong, but it is there. I'm just not sure how much I love the floral tone in it. So we'll have to see how that one melts up. But it's got very pretty glitter. Yeah, there's just, yeah, I like the Palo and I think the smoked vanilla smells good, but I'm just not sure about the Orchid. So we'll see. Okay, so next up I have House of Dragons. I did get more of this one as well. So this one, Palo Santo Vanilla Balsam again. Fallen Leaves, Peppermint, and a hint of cinnamon. I feel like I didn't notice when I was placing the order how many of these scents are Palo Santo Vanilla Balsam. Like, and they are two of my favourite scents, so it makes sense that I went for so many of them. But it's just here now when it's all arrived, I'm like, it's just the same two scents over and over again. Different enough, I think, that's fine. But, you know, they are all definitely, I think, related. Well, let's see about this one. And I just love any House of Dragon or Game of Thrones inspired stuff. So, Ooh, I like this one. My first instinct with this one is that yes, it is a Palo Santo vanilla balsam scent. It is related to Godswoods and it is related to the North. All three of those scents, you know, there is a definite similarity. But this one I would say is the most different. The touch of peppermint and cinnamon, I feel like really just give this one such an interesting tone. It's kind of fiery, but not at the same time. Like, it's not a strong cinnamon or anything, or mint by any means. But it just really livens up the blend. I really like this one. I actually think of those vanilla balsam Palo Santos, I think this one might be my favorite. And this one was the one I was most nervous about because of the peppermint note. So it's really just barely there. And the leaves, I think, just adds a bit of, I don't know, it just makes it more interesting. This one is definitely like, yes, it is a vanilla balsam Palo Santo scent, but it is by far the most interesting of all of them. And I think it's my favorite. Like, it's very good. Kind of wishing I had like a tub and a souffle of that one, but anyway. White pumpkin and birch. So this is white pumpkin, warm spices, sandalwood, amber, vanilla, birch, and cedar. Poured 15th of this October. House of Dragons was 29th of December. Not December, October. 29th of September for Growing Women. That one. Kind of don't want to get my YouTube channel censored or whatever for swearing on it. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Okay. Oh, squish that. So that one looks like it's got some black glitter. So I got this one because I've had other white pumpkin scents that I really enjoyed. This one I think might be a little bit too spicy for me. It doesn't smell like the other white pumpkins I've smelled. It smells more like just a spicy pumpkin. And there's some pretty woody notes and stuff, but yeah, I don't know if that's enough to say that this one for me. It's too spicy. Too much like a spiced pumpkin. So, I don't know. I'll try it, but yeah, it's definitely spicy. And I'm just not a huge pumpkin spice person. So pumpkin season. So I did take a couple of risks on pumpkin scents. Rich cake infused with pumpkin spice. Creamy vanilla, coffee, oat milk creamer, brown sugar Palo Santo. So really, I bought this blend because of all of the notes after pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice concerned me, but I love, the spiced oat milk scent from L3, I just love. And I love brown sugar. I love Palo Santo. Coffee's usually pretty good. So I just went, let's just see. This could be an amazing blend if the pumpkin spice does not overwhelm it. That was my thinking. So this one's very plain. I remember looking back, because sometimes I'll place my order and then I'll sort of look back over it when it ships. And I remember looking at this one going, geez, why did I choose that one? Because I'm just, I know how much I'm not a fan of that pumpkin spice, but. Okay, this is pretty good. The pumpkin spice is right on the edge of what I can tolerate. If there was even just a drop more pumpkin spice, this would be completely off. And I still think I would prefer it without pumpkin spice. But that beautiful, rich, creamy oat milk and the Palo the sort of spicy Palo, the sort of woody spicy Palo, they really save it. They take this into a really cozy, comforting kind of territory. I still would only be able to melt this on like the coldest of the cold days because that's the only times I can even deal with like a little bit of pumpkin spice. But this one is much more complex and much more delicious than just a pumpkin spice scent. So I do really like this one. It does remind me, so Spice, Cafe Cubano Spiced Oat Milk, which is one of my all-time favorite scents from L3. That's kind of what I was thinking of because that's got the spiced oat milk. And yes, this does feel like a distant relative to that. They're absolutely by no means the same, but I do feel like the oat milk creamer side of this and that scent, they have that same comforting creamy base. So I do really quite like this one, even though I'm not a pumpkin spice fan. And the last scent that I have is Christmas cookies. So this is an assortment of baked cookies, powdered sugar, buttercream, pine, and warm spices. Christmassy kind of glitter. Just smell like this. No, I won't. Okay. I'm annoyed at myself now because this is one scent that I went, no, I do not need to get more of. And I'm regretting that so hard. So this one, I decided that I have enough scents like this. I have Super Tarts Yippee-Ki-Yay, which is like pine and cookies. I've got a Southbound pine and cookies scent. Even Christmas Trees and Cream, which isn't cookies per se, but it's kind of in that family. I just went, I don't need more scents like that, but this is a really good one. In some respects, I feel like the buttercream and the pine, there is definitely a relationship between this and Christmas Trees and Cream. But this Christmas Trees and Cream sometimes can be a little bit too over the top creamy sweet to me. This one, I feel like the cookies, it's not nearly as over sweet as Christmas Trees and Cream. There's a little bit of like a cookie spice, like subtle, you know, not like a heavy spice, but just a little bit. Oh, it's really good. But the buttercream is the same. It's the same buttercream note across Christmas Trees and Cream and this. So if you wanted something that was related but much more cookie-like, this would be it. And I'm regretting not getting more of this. This is very, very good. I should have known. I should have known. Anyway, there's always one regret. If I don't get a hold of my pre-order before, you know, the ready to ship, there's always something that I regret. But it is what it is. So that's it. That's my pre-order. So really happy with what I've got. Going to get all this put away. I've still got to do videos. I've only got 2 more videos because even though there was 6 orders in this forwarder box, 3 of them were all L3 and I've already done that. So still got to do Super Tarts Crisp Melts and then my scoopable order, and then everything will be packed away. So hopefully you're all doing really well, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.